we've talked at great length, Dr. Gilbere, about all the negatives, lots of negatives and lots of positives. And we've talked about what happens as you go on through life, and you have this cascade of things that lead to the burdens that can literally destroy our lives. When do we begin to work with our children to help them maybe avoid some of the compulsions for the tastes and some of the things that take place that they wouldn't have to worry about if they had been taught as children?
And of course now as a grandmother,
as a grandmother,
I think that we have the baby boomers that are even more concerned about that, and we have to stick our 2 cents in as mother-in-laws and father-in-laws. But you start at birth. You start so that they don't develop a taste for a lot of sweets. I'm very proud to say that I have a daughter-in-law who has, with my son, has 2 beautiful baby boys. And the oldest, who is now going to be 3, was invited to a birthday party, and he came up to my daughter-in-law and said, "Mommy, this tastes terrible because the frosting was so sweet on the cake." So she had to scoop everything off in order for him to even have a piece of cake. Those children have never had just regular sugar. They have things like stevia to sweeten, which is a natural sweetener. And people wonder, is it all natural? Let me tell you, it is. I have someone who brought me back a plant of stevia from South America because it grows wild over there like mint does here. And it looks just like the mint plant. And I was just sharing with you during the break that if you take that leaf and you just gently put your fingers on it and then taste it to your tongue, you can't stand it. It's so sweet. It's about 100 times sweeter. Yeah, stevia. So it's truly natural. It's the plant itself inherently has the sweetness. So we can start by using some of the sweeteners. Not a lot, because you don't want them to get used to the real sweet things, but sweeten things that need to be appropriately sweetened with something natural like that. You can use fructose as well, but you still are going to elevate the blood sugar where the stevia doesn't.
So
stevia is a nutritional supplement that can be used as a natural sweetener.
So from birth, we need to begin to work with them.
Absolutely.
Final question I'd like to ask you on this is, you know, so many of the things that we are become addicted to in our food and whatever are chemical substances. I would suppose that if an individual started once they knew they were pregnant and carrying a child, it would even be better.
Absolutely, because remember that they're getting the effect. The fetus is getting, the developing fetus is getting the effect, just like when a mother eats an excessive amount of sweets and carbohydrates, the baby is 90% more apt to have thrush, because that excessive candida growth is passed either through the birth canal or through breastfeeding to the newborn. So it's the same thing with the nutrition that the mother's getting. So nutrition and environmental modifications for the pregnant mother are very important. So you start at birth, and quickly I'll share a quick story. There was a priest that was asked one time about the mother was having a terrible time with a 6-year-old, and she couldn't discipline him, and he wouldn't pay attention. He wouldn't sit still in school or in church or anywhere else. He was just an absolute terror. And she went to the priest and said, "Well, what do I do? When am I supposed to start disciplining him?" And he said, "You're 6 years too late." It's the same thing with our health. If you don't start at birth to develop the taste for your children of the healthy things in life, then they don't have that as an example. If you never eat vegetables, why are they going to like vegetables?
Absolutely.
And if it's only canned pears you're feeding them, never a fresh pear, they're not going to like the fresh pear. You really do develop that taste. And so it's very important that we take that responsibility seriously as parents, and even more so as grandparents, even though sometimes our in-laws don't like to hear it. We do it because we care and because we made a lot of mistakes. I did, and I'm sure you did, raising your children. We made a lot of mistakes. There were things that I would never do now with my children that I did then, but we didn't know any better.
Well, that's great information, and as the grandfather of 3, I absolutely agree with you.
I'm equal with you. I've got 3 too.
Thanks.
You're welcome.